Hello. You'll excuse me. I am just finishing off some ice cream I'm having for dessert. I'll be with you shortly. I'm stuffing my face at the moment. How are we doing in the chat? Taking a break at the moment. The helmet will return. Just not today. No time. Been rushing around, trying to get everything done. Taking out Bryan Ferry records and Roxy music records. Scattered all across my whole collection, different boxes and things. But we're there. We are there. Can you hear me okay? No problems? So, what do we know about Bryan Ferry and Roxy music? Let us know in the chat. Picked up quite a bit of vinyl actually in the last couple of weeks. Yeah, spent a bit of money. I've got a few videos actually lined up, scheduled, showing CDs and vinyl. I try to put out at least one video a week and host a live stream on a Friday, as you know. Hey, you're right, Michael. Yes, sort the camera out then if Michael's come up. Now, if there's anyone that knows a bit about Roxy music, Michael Elliott is your man. He is very passionate where it comes to Bryan Ferry and Roxy music. As soon as I mentioned this to him, he was like, I want to be a part of that. I don't blame him. Let's see if he can get on. Let's hope that he can. Might get myself a drink whilst Michael was trying to figure it out. Hello. Back. 1 minute. I knew I had a bit of Bryan Ferry, but blimey, quite a lot. Got quite a few doubles as well. I've picked up. Okay, Michael, give you about 5 minutes. No worries, no problem. I'm gonna crack this open. Right, Hobbs. You right, Jim? Dave, pickup artist. How you doing? Hello. I've decided 2025 is going to be the year I start finishing a few discographies. Not necessarily on vinyl, but on CD, where it's cheap and it's cheerful, you know? Sort of the bands from like the 2000s and stuff like that, you know, Feeder, Fountains of Wayne, Elbow, yeah, that sort of stuff, you know? The Blue Tones as well. I'd like to get a few more albums of the Blue Tones, 90s indie band. There's so many bands, isn't there? There's so many bands. You start looking. Yeah, just in the mood just to complete as many discographies as I can. Or don't have to complete them, just build them up a bit more than what I have already. You know, try and complete them. Goal is to get, you know, somewhere near completion. There's quite a few albums actually which have come out recently, this last couple of years, like bands I like. See, Travis have released a new album. James has got a newish album. Feeder as well. They got a new album out. That's probably been out for about a year. I haven't got any Wet Leg in the collection. Wouldn't mind a bit of that. What was it? Yeah, I do have quite a bit of James, but they have a lot of albums, haven't they? Yeah, Blue Tones, especially the debut album, Expecting to Fly, which not Morning Glory off #1 on the album chart. Yeah, I do have that. I do have that in my indie rock collection, just outside here. Not this, not these, but past the door. There's another load of CD shelves. Here he is, my man. How you doing, Michael?
Bam! What's happening, my friend? Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine, loud and clear.
Fantastic.
You know what's happening. It's that Bryan Ferry Roxy music time.
Yeah, now, I thought we were going to be talking about Bryan Ferry's solo career. So, yes. But I don't have all of my Bryan Ferry and Roxy music available to show. Some of the things are put away.
That's fine.
But I do have a significant amount, because I've purchased various artists on CD, vinyl, as well as cassette.
How are we doing, everyone?
Very well.
What's going on?
Yeah, I've got a new record myself, actually.
What'd you get?
The Primitives Galore on red vinyl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a single of theirs for sale. I passed on it. It was only a few quid. I might grab it tomorrow.
What was the single?
Yeah, I can't remember what it was. It was one from the 80s. So
yeah, they've got a good like, you know, jingle jangle indie pop sound.
Yeah.
Guitar based, you know.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with them. I mean, not intensely, but I've heard their stuff, and yeah, they're cool.
Yeah. The biggest song is Crash.
Yeah, from the 90s. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Good to hear that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Michael, I've pretty much got most of Bryan Ferry and Roxy Music albums here, so you can just sort of like, you know, discuss them as I show them, because you probably know a great deal more about them than what I do.
And I'll also show a few things I have. But before we do anything, you had a haul the other day, and you pulled up an album by Gino Vanelli, Brother to Brother.
Yes.
And you asked about anybody in the chat. Have you ever heard of the guy?
No, I haven't. No.
Simon, that album is phenomenal.
Really? Yeah.
Let me tell you about Gino Vanelli. He's from Montreal, Canada. In my opinion, he has one of the greatest voices in music history. When you hear this man sing, and when this album came out, he was only like maybe 18, 19 years old. He's got, but back then he had the voice of a 40-year-old man. And he still sings to this day. He exactly the way he did when he was a teenager. He's got a falsetto that so high that is unbelievable.
Right.
But the music is going to blow your mind.
Right.
He and his brother write he writes pretty much almost all of the music. He gets assistance from his brothers.
Yeah.
When you hear this man, this album is absolutely one of my favorite albums of all time, bar none. And he's got several others just as badass. It is man. If you don't enjoy that album, something's wrong with you, dude. It's fantastic.
Well, I'm sure I probably will now that you've said that. You know.
Oh, I give it high praise.
Right. Oh, that's good to know. It's really by chance, really. I just come across that. I was just looking up DBX pressings because I have a DBX encoder.
Yeah.
And that just came up relatively cheap for like a tenner. I thought, bargain, I'm gonna buy that,
Oh, so, no. That's a piece of gold.
Yeah.
And I've got other vinyl really within distance, but I won't try and go for them now. But I've got other vinyl by Gino right within a few feet of me. I'll show you if we get a little gap a little later that you might want to get in case you like that. He is, man. I mean, I don't understand why the majority of the world. I mean, he's had a big hit, and I'll tell you. As a matter of fact, this hit was so huge internationally, you're gonna know it. I just wanna stop and tell you what I feel about you, babe. I just wanna. You never heard that song? Wow. It was a massive international hit. So he did have his glory days pretty much in the 70s, 80s, and some of the 90s. But in the 70s, in his youth, he was one of the greatest ever, and he's won many Juno Awards in Canada. It's fantastic.
Oh, that's good to hear. If I heard it, I'll probably recognize it.
Yeah, it was a smash, and just about anywhere you are, you could be in a drugstore, you could be anywhere, and that song will be playing. It's one of those standards that gets played, for decades and probably forever.
So you'd probably place this album in your top 10 favorite albums ever, then, would you?
It's so hard when you start.
I know it is.
The bigger your palette of music becomes, how do you possibly find 10? But I actually do have a favorite album of all time. I do. But Gino Vanelli would probably be in my top 10 favorite artists ever.
Right.
His compositions, man, are just out of this world.
So the likelihood it's going to be in your top 20 then, isn't it?
Oh, without question.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if we wanted to expand it, maybe we should, because if I started thinking about 10, it would go pretty quickly.
Yeah.
If you say top 20, no question about it, he's there. No question about it.
Yeah. A bit more there, isn't there? 20.
He did. He toured United States in '77 when that album came out. I actually saw that tour with my girlfriend at the time. He did a retrospect, a video. He released a video later where he actually had a crew filming his tour.
Mm-hmm.
Well, part of the tour that he filmed was Detroit. There's a point where in the audience, you see me, and then there's another point where the audience scans in, and you see my girlfriend.
Really?
I made it. I made the video.
Oh, awesome! It's like your claim to fame, then, Michael, was it?
Dude, we were almost front row, and my girlfriend said, "Put me up on your shoulders. I want to get up onto the stage." So I shimmied over and brought her over, got to the front of the stage. She got up on my shoulders, you know, a little tushy. I pushed her up. She reached out her hand because Gino was at the front. She reached out her hand and Gino touched her and she fell back into my arms, man. I was like, he made my night.
Brilliant. So before we go any further, Michael, how you been? It's been a little while since we've had a chat like this.
You know, man, I've been fantastic, Simon. And actually, the last time I was on your show was the first time I appeared on any stream in the vinyl community since I left, which is what, almost 3 years ago? 2.5 easy.
You've been on a couple of streams, though, haven't you? You had one with a mutual friend. I can't remember who that was. And then we did one, didn't we? I think it was
you and I. Well, the last one we did, like I said, was we've only done one other one, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I
know you jumped a few times, a couple of times or so, haven't you?
But yours was the only one I might have popped in somebody's chat and said something, but I've never been on I haven't been on anybody's stream in the vinyl community.
All right, I thought you did. I could swear you did. I just can't think of who it was you did it with.
Really?
Yeah. It's on one of your channels.
Yeah, but all of that stuff was done when I was in the community, man.
Maybe.
How long ago was it? Do you remember?
2-3 years ago, maybe.
Oh, well, that's what I said. Yeah, it's been 2 to 3 years since I left.
Right. When you said left the community, I kind of assumed you saying that is when you left Rachel's live stream.
Oh, no, I meant the vinyl community as a whole.
Right. Okay. I didn't realize. Okay, with you.
Yeah, yours, like I said, the last month, I guess it was, yours is the first time I've appeared on anybody's stream since then.
No, pleasure.
Hey, man, it's always good to see you. And,
you too.
And always have a great conversation. So it's my pleasure to be here, man, for sure.
Well, I'm honored, Michael. I'm honored.
Because you start bringing up stuff, man. And I start to, I catch some of these halls and I go, oh my God, he got that. I can't believe he got that. You know.
I appreciate the support, Michael.
Hey, man, I'm not the one who owns those record shops. You got some nice places nearby.
I have, yeah, we have. We're very lucky over here. But I'm sure you got the same setup where you are.
Oh yeah, man. I got a place I can walk to right now, and crate dig,
Is that your front room then, Michael? Was it?
Yeah. This is my new studio setup. I just kind of I almost have it completed. I've been erecting it over the last few months because I'm going back to streaming live again.
Oh, brilliant.
And I have another community that I belong to of musicians, and so I've been on their streams, but I want to get a little bit more deeper into it. So I've been, like I said, reassembling a new studio, and then I'm also, I DJ, so I live stream on Mixcloud, but I just started setting up a channel on Twitch. So within the next, hopefully, excuse me, within the next 2 to 3 weeks, I'll bring the DJ streaming back up. So I'll be DJing again. This time I'll be doing it on Twitch and Mixcloud simultaneously.
So I'm mentioning this for the people who are watching who might not necessarily know you or seen you for a while. You have a number of interests, don't you, Michael? Not only your passion of music and vinyl, you like collecting and building dioramas.
Oh yeah, action figures of different scales, everything from the smaller Marvel Legends or Hasbro or what they call Star Wars Black Series. They're usually 6-inch figures. Todd McFarlane does figures that are 7-inch figures.
Still very much into that, or you sort of eased off that for a little while now? Or
Oh no, I'm deeper than I ever was. But
really,
the thing is, I've shifted my collecting into a higher scale, where these Marvel Legends and McFarlane figures can stumble around $25 to $30, although they've gone up. There's NECA, which are 9-inch figures, which I think are even better put together and have a higher quality to them. They're $40, but they come with so many more accessories that they're worth it.
And you're still collecting?
Oh yeah, but now I've ventured into 6 scale, which are actually, I collected them when I was a kid because G.I. Joes one time were 12 inches tall.
Right.
But
so
now,
have you sort of stopped buying vinyl at the moment then? You're just more into...
Well, I was for a while because actually I had to hold back from collecting the figures as well because I got some new things into my studio. One being that contraption back there.
Yeah.
That's a System 55. It's a clone of a Mode 55, and that kind of thing is a beast. And so it cost me a nice little penny. And then I got other things to kind of upgrade the studio as a whole.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So I did a lot of emptying out of my wallet around the holidays because I felt this was more important at the time.
Yeah. And are you retired now then, Michael? Are you still working?
Actually, I was given the opportunity to collect Social Security early. I don't know, something was written into law. They told me I could collect my full amount early, and I went, you know something? My business that I was running, I've already downsized it. It's no longer a primary source of income. As a matter of fact, it's just a nice kind of second, what do you want to call it? Supplemental income. So I still get calls from customers. I just don't go out and do anything setting up. I just get calls from customers, and they either stop by and pick their stuff up. I can do curbside with them, or I'll go to the location depending upon how much they spent, and I'll drop it off to them. But that's the kind of thing where it's a phone call, it takes so many minutes to make a delivery. So it's not even my job anymore. It's just a great thing to have a call come in and go, oh yeah, sure, I can make this up. You want to come by and get it? And I don't have to do anything.
So you got a bit more free time about you now then?
Oh, dude, I'm here more than I'm out. I have another job that I do with a friend of my brother's who has become a very good friend of mine now. And I work for him every other week, but it's only like 4 days out of the month. But he pays well, and we have a great relationship. So that's another little supplement coming in. So I don't want to stop doing either one of those, because here they tell me that even though I'm collecting Social Security now, if I continue to pay in to the system, like pay taxes on whatever I do, my supplemental, my monthly income that they give me goes up because I'm paying in the system, so it doesn't stay stagnant.
Right.
As long as I keep paying in, I'm like, oh, good, because I feel great, and everything that I'm doing is so easy. Why not? So I'm just going to continue doing that, bringing some extra money in, and then I have my military disability. That's the other bigger part that's allowing me to have the life I have now.
Well, you're looking well, Michael.
Dude, I am so excited, Simon, about music more than I've been in 25 years.
Wow.
I don't think that I've been more excited about music since maybe the early 2000s, early to mid 2000s, and then things started to kind of fall off as far as what was coming out.
Is this because you're older now and you appreciate music more, or is there any reasons behind it, you think?
No, I don't appreciate music any more than I always have, because it's just always been there.
Yeah.
It's just that it's a beautiful thing to live long enough to see things come back around. I'm finding that people in the DJ community, in a lot of ways, are even more creative than the musicians are now.
Yeah.
Because DJs now are coming to you via live stream, but what they do now is they have, just like we have our vinyl stuff set up.
Yeah.
They'll have a whole DJ thing set up, and everybody comes with a different kind of flavor. There's a couple that come on and they look almost like Daft Punk. And this guy is wearing this really ornate, kind of freaky sci-fi helmet with lights and stuff. And she's got on this big visor with this scanner going across, and she dances while he spins. And they got it's so baller. Then there's
really in the zone, I suppose.
It's so great.
Yeah.
They're playing techno. But now on the other end, there's another channel where there's a woman. She's dressed up in 1930s, 40s gear dress. She's got her hair done up like, the 40s, 30s, 40s. She's sitting next to a console that look, a record player with the flip up top where you have to go down and you spin it and all that.
Yeah.
And she broadcasts in black and white, and all she plays is really early music from like the 50s back to the 20s.
Wow.
It's what a great way of DJing. That's what I love about that world now. They're taking it to a whole different level than just
time capsule, isn't
it? That's got me excited, because it reminds me of the days in the 80s, man, where artists, musicians, bands, and solo artists, everybody wanted to be different. Nobody was trying to be the same. Nobody was trying to carbon copy. Now, everybody was a part of the same genre, or you might have had, these are all ska, but Madness was still different from the Specials. The Specials was still different from Selecta, even though they were all ska. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm seeing happening again now. And then with the other channel that I'm with musicians of all kinds, but primarily a lot of them are synthesizers or electronic and stuff. I'm seeing where there is a well, an underground, but not necessarily underground, because some of these people they're of all age groups, but a lot of them are my contemporaries. And so a lot of them are very accomplished musicians. Not that I am, I'm just saying they're, in my age group. But a lot of them are very accomplished musicians. And I'm surprised at how many of them really never got out and did anything. And they're actually very humble and almost downplay themselves, almost to the point of low esteem. And I'm like, oh my God, when you came in with that synthesizer, it sounded like Dune. I'm like, wow, are you crazy? You're mad talented.
I'm looking forward to your return to the vinyl community then in full force.
I won't be back in full force,
Right.
unfortunately. Well,
some capacity would be nice.
I wouldn't say unfortunately. I just want to regulate my time where I'm everywhere. I don't want to, because what I did was I took my eyes off the ball for a while and I got distracted. And what I needed to do is I needed to make all three of the things that I love right now, I needed to bring balance to it.
Yeah, you do. You don't want to burn out on one particular area, do you?
Right. So no one channel is going to dominate the other, although I am not going to be in the vinyl community that much.
Yeah.
What I would like to continue doing is making a visit to you for sure. If you'll have me.
Sure.
And
you've got about 3 channels, is that right?
What was that again?
You got about 3 channels, haven't you? 3. Yeah. If you want to give me the links in the private chat, I'll put them out there on the live stream for people to follow you, help you out a bit.
Sure. And so I may do an occasional stream in the community, because I went back, Simon, and I looked at the videos and went, wow, I did a lot of streaming, man.
You did. You were pretty hardcore.
And I couldn't believe
that first season. You did a hell of a lot, like every day,
or at least I was getting it was the Saturday fun day kind of thing. And I was like, wow, I was getting them almost every Saturday. I had really forgotten, even over in the other communities, I never streamed that much. I mean,
no.
I went,
well, 3 hours a day. I mean, that's a lot of streaming, isn't it?
Well, I wasn't on every day, but I was on almost every day when I was over there where what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That was a crazy ride, because literally, man, that was almost every day for probably about 3 months. It wasn't a real long time.
No.
But 3 months, almost every day, is a lot.
A crazy ride, but you met a lot of people. You come across a lot of people, which
Yeah. But there, aside from the quote unquote nonsense that that was going on, there are just people in this community that are just fantastic, man. I mean, Invisible Ray has always been a great friend to me. He's always stood up. Anything that ever happened in the vinyl community that was unjust, that guy was on my side, and I'll be forever grateful for him, because he was always been a great support.
I agree. Ray's a haven for the ostracized and the pariahs. He's just a great guy. It's as simple as that. He's a great guy.
Absolutely.
I've always supported Ray.
Yeah, and he's had it tough. He's really had it tough. Really.
Yes.
And there are others in the community that I really respect a lot. But unfortunately, some I can't visit because it connects them with others that I'd rather not.
Yeah. It's awkward.
So I have. That's why I'm going to stay myself more isolated. Like I said, visit you occasionally.
Yeah,
You know.
that's understandable. You know.
Although I B-sides, I want to give a big shout out to B-sides. They've been a big support too.
Oh, Jenny is lovely. She's just a lovely, warm person. And
Yeah, man.
husband is fantastic.
She's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, she is. Both of them are.
Yeah. And like I said, there are others. And if I don't mention you, doesn't mean I don't like you. It's just I can't remember everybody, and it'll be too many.
There was a lot of people, wasn't there?
Yeah, and I don't want to drop a bunch of names. You know, that'd be kind of tacky. Yeah. Hello to so and so and so and so and so and so.
Anyway,
This is great. I just ran up and got this CD set of the Primitives and about 5 CDs.
Oh, nice,
fantastic
demos. First album.
Yes, I do remember seeing that.
This is great. Pure.
Yeah.
I like the sleeves.
Yeah.
Yep.
A nice set.
It is a nice set.
You get your money's worth, as it were. So.
Where did you get that then?
This was at HMV.
Yeah?
Yeah. Live at the BBC.
I can tell you're a big fan.
Yeah, I like this. The indie pop sound, you know, of the 80s.
Oh yeah, man. I love indie, bro.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. How much did that set you back, Jim?
I think that was £30, if I can remember rightly.
Not too bad.
This is great. This is a bootleg. The Smiths live at in Hammersmith there.
See, and you know why I knew you were going to bring up the Smiths?
Yeah.
Because I was going to ask you, even before you brought that album up, Spring Hill Jim is a Morrissey song.
Yeah, from Vauxhall and I.
Yeah.
Dude, Vauxhall and I is such a masterpiece.
It's probably his best solo album.
I think it is.
Either that or Viva Hate.
Oh, Viva Hate's great.
Yeah, Viva Hate.
But why don't you find out for yourself? What a tune!
Great tune. You know, about the music moguls and the greediness of the music industry. Yeah, great song.
Every day is like Sunday. That's a song, man.
Oh man,
Great.
I think the best still is Suede Head.
Oh yes, that's brilliant.
You know, that was the first solo single.
Very astounding, isn't it?
First solo single, and I think it got higher than any Smith single in the charts. It got to like number 5 in 88.
That video is such a classic.
Yeah, where he goes to, I think he's in Indiana, isn't he?
Where he's riding the tractor and he's got the long coat on and his hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Visiting all the James Dean spots.
Even to this day, like a few days ago, I had a long coat on and a hat. I felt, and I had my phone. I got a playlist of Morrissey on my phone. Dude, I'm a massive fan. I've seen him live. I'm a massive fan.
I've seen him live twice. He's such a great. He is such a great frontman. He's one of the last great stars. You know.
Dude,
yeah.
He's so good.
And one of the best albums is Southpaw Grammar, which sort of has like a prog rock type sound, and it's instrumental heavy. You know, a lot of the tracks, like there's a drum solo on one of them. Some of them, the first and the last tracks are like over 10 minutes long, and you're really drum heavy. You know, one of the solos. It's just such a great album.
Yeah, one of the great long songs that he's done in recent memory, man, is "Life Is a Pigsty," bro. I love that. Oh, what a great
Ringleader of the Tormentors.
And I remember when I bought that when I bought that CD. It was at a Barnes and Noble on the campus of Wayne State University, a college just up the way from me.
Yeah.
I remember when that first came out. I walked into Barnes and Noble and I saw that CD. I went, let me check it out. And I was like, oh, this album, the first of the Gang to Die, just it like shot up there in my top 10 favorite Morrisseys ever.
And
Southpaw Grammar, yes.
I Just Want to See the Boy Happy, and
yeah.
In the Future When All's Well.
Yeah,
Great
man,
singles. Just great singles.
Man, those great writers of all time.
I absolutely agree, yeah. And definitely one of the most unique. I mean, there's no one else quite like Morrissey in that, that respect.
Nope.
No, there isn't. Do you have any Roxy music in your collection, Jim?
Not that I know of. Bryan Ferry, I quite like Bryan Ferry, the cover of Jealous Guy, etc. I don't think I've got anything by them in my collection though, off the top of my head.
Yeah, if you want to bring me up big, I got something for you.
Sure.
This album is by far one of my favorite live albums of all time. You got to have this. This is Viva Roxy music.
Oh yes.
This is just phenomenal. It's got The Bogus Man on it, which is a great cut. Both Ends Burning, classic. If There Is Something. Eddie Jobson with his.
That's a gatefold, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Eddie Jobson took over for Brian Eno when he left. And then there's your gatefold. It's just phenomenal album, man. Phenomenal.
One of your favorite live albums?
Oh, what I do? This is just great because Bryan Ferry's voice, man. Wow, it's just so dynamic here. He's so young, and so that when he sings, it just bellows out. It lances out into the audience like a spear. Especially when, in Every Dream on My Heartache, because he goes, oh, those heartaches. And he just goes way up, and his voice still has the tremolo. And it's like, wow, you go, man, he can sing. But pure masterpiece of a live album. Yes.
Nice one.
Obviously, I know that John Porter, for a time, was bass player in Roxy Music.
Yes.
Was the lineup was sort of was it consistent, or did it change throughout the years?
There were the major players were there from the very beginning. Well, you could say some of the major players left, but the main original members stayed, which was Bryan Ferry, Andrew McKay, who was the sax and wind player, but he also played keyboards, and Phil Manzanero, one of the greatest guitarists they ever walked the planet. So that was your core membership. Brian Eno came in. They brought him in when they saw him twiddling around with the synthesizer. Said, "What the heck is that? What are you doing?" Because I if I remember correctly, he had a studio and they went over to it I think to do a demo or something. If I remember correctly, he had a synthesizer in the studio. And they're like, what the heck is that? And they're like, wow, that's really cool. So, he comes on board, and Paul Thompson, the drummer, I think he was already there as well. And then over the years, their last reunion, they had everybody back except Brian Eno has never come back since he left. But, and then Eddie Jobson didn't do this last tour. That was a couple of years ago. He didn't do the reunion either. But all the other guys are there. All the other originals, solid. And then some additional players.
So let's start off with some early Bryan Ferry albums, shall we?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This It's self-titled. Oh no, beg pardon. Another Place, 1974, I believe. Not sure if that's the debut, but it could be. Is it? Anyone know?
Well, I'll tell you because I have it in my hand right now. This is 1974.
It is, yeah. I thought so.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's one of the ones that when you held it up, I went, I got that.
Yeah. I figure you got a lot of these.
Yep.
Well, yeah, maybe not all of them, but most of them. 1976. Let's Stick Together.
And that was, I mean, and the crazy thing about it is you accumulated these in one haul. I wish I could have got all of those in one haul.
I didn't get that many. I bought maybe three of them, I think, but I had already had these.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Now that Let's Stick Together, I have that, but that's put away.
All right. Okay.
I rotate my albums out every 6 months, and I just rotated it out for the new year. I put certain albums away, and then I bring others out just so I make sure I'm listening to stuff.
I could be wrong, but I think it's just the only hit on the album, isn't it? Let's Stick Together.
I'm trying to remember what's on this one. Okay, hold on. Well, see, here's the thing. Casanova was an FM hit. Remake and Remodel was a big song too, man. I mean, Price of Love as well. This album was high. It really was high. But I guess Let's Stick Together might have been the bigger of all of them. But a lot of those songs had significant airplay.
This album looks like it doesn't belong in the 70s. It looks very, very modern.
Let's see.
I've always loved the photograph.
Which one? Yes, I got that one as well. In Your Mind.
In Your Mind.
Yes, sir.
1977. This is.
Yes. Yeah.
On the back.
I'm holding mine as well. Yeah. Now, quite frankly, it wasn't a massively big album, but once again, I mean, I still liked it. I still liked it very much.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I've got a 70s copy and an 80s copy.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
You mean like a reprint?
Yeah, an 80s reprint with a barcode on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because now, well, you'll keep on going, but we're going to get to a point where we're going to be talking about the best Bryan Ferry solo album he's ever done, but we'll get there.
Right. I'm not sure on the top of my head what year this is. I think it's an 80s one. Boys and Girls.
That is the best Bryan Ferry album of all time. That album is, I have it here. I have played this album to death. The classic song on this album from what's the name of the movie?
Very photogenic, isn't he? Very photogenic.
Oh man, and this is just a great. There's Not a Clunker. Sensation, fantastic. Slave to Love, just Don't Stop the Dance. Oh wait, this album is just amazing, man. Stone Woman.
What year was it made, Michael? You know.
This had to have been like around 82, 81 because I don't know why I can't get the name.
85.
When I'm trying to get the name of the movie in my head that Slave to Love was featured in, I don't know why I can't get it because it's one of my favorite movies ever with Mickey Rourke. Oh, I can't get it. But hold on a second.
Sure.
Oh, here we go. Let me take a look here. Yeah. Oh wait, 85.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. 85 makes sense. Yeah.
Charles knows.
So good. Oh, so good.
Richard, I agree.
Michael, boys and girls is.
Yeah.
I've only been following this man since I was about 13. I was first introduced to Roxy music at 13.
These Foolish Things is his debut.
Second best album, and I'll tell you why. Bryan Ferry is one of the few artists who I think his remakes of other people's songs are better than their originals. That album is nothing but originals. You must hear him do Sympathy for the Devil by the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, didn't know he did it.
It's just, and it's just as long too. And there's a point in the song where you can just hear that woo woo, and he's going woo woo, and he's got the women behind him woo woo, and it goes on forever and ever and ever, just like the Stone tune. And his version, because of his voice, he even gets maniacal. He goes ha 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 ha. He slays the Stones version. Slays it.
Really? I should hear that then.
Slays it.
So moving on into 1987 then.
Oh.
This is one for the charity shot I picked up for £5, which was in that video, of course.
Got it, my friend. Got it.
You got it.
Another monster. Limbo.
You're loving this, aren't you, Michael? You're loving it.
I love Limbo. Kiss and Tell. The Right Stuff. Mountain High. River Deep. Right Stuff. Which they actually played in the movie The Right Stuff about the astronauts.
Well, because you know The Right Stuff, the music is by Johnny Marr. And it was originally a B-side, a Smith's B-side. Yeah.
You are absolutely, wow, you are brilliant.
Well done.
Money Changes Everything, The Big Mouth Strikes Again, B-side. Yeah.
He's absolutely right. But
I think he plays on The Right Stuff, Johnny Marr.
I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it. He's for The Right Stuff. As soon as Money Changes Everything. Yep.
Yeah, Richard knows.
Yes, sir. These Foolish Things is away, or in the cubby hole, so I can't show you that one. I think I got the CD around here, but not within.
Well, we can always go back. It's no problem if you want a bit of time to dig it out, you can. So moving on to a couple of compilations then, the Bryan Ferry Ultimate Collection with Roxy Music.
Yeah, now I don't have that.
Nice little pickup. It's pretty cheap, to be honest with you. This one is quite common compilation. This came out at 88, so you got quite a range of hits on there, you know.
And the only reason why I don't have it is because I've got so much of his stuff. I got everything. I actually don't need any compilations of Ferry or Roxy music.
Still got the Smiths sticker on there, like £7.89.
Nice. Although I do have some collections on digital.
And this was the other one I picked up from the charity shop, which I do have a copy of it already, but I just thought
go ahead.
I couldn't leave it there, Michael. You know, it was
right. You can't. Oh yeah. Now that one that's the one I have on digital.
Yeah.
And that's a really good compilation of both sides. So
it is, yeah. So Bryan Ferry and Roxy Music.
As a matter of fact,
great hits.
That looks so good on just the vinyl looks so good. I think I might pick that up anyway.
Look at that. Look.
Yeah, I think I might be. See, now you done sold me on that. I think
it's 2 discs.
Yeah, I'll get it.
Really nice, sweet little pickup, and it's relatively inexpensive.
Yeah,
so
I'm gonna get
it. It's cheap. That's what I say. I mean, look, £6, £6 for
£6.
Yeah,
man. Simon, I bet you, man, if I went crate digging with you, I'd be going, Simon, look what's here. You don't see this? You'd be going, Who is that? This is fantastic, Simon.
I picked this up for £2. I've got another copy I picked up earlier, a couple of years ago.
Insane. It's
insane.
Yeah. And
you can find this stuff. You can find this stuff if you're willing to go out there and look in the charity shops. I mean, it does take time, and you have to do, maybe go on round sometimes to keep searching. But you can find this stuff. You just have to be persistent. So there you go. It's out there.
Great stuff was so cheap, and the stuff's in great shape.
I know. It's you got to be a bit lucky, but you got to be out there looking,
Yeah, absolutely. So
I've got a few CDs, Bryan Ferry, later ones, of course. We got Taxi.
Dude, I have that on CD, and the album is yep. That's
I Put a Spell on You and Girl of My Best Friend. So yeah, there you go. This was a quick charity shop. You can still got you're on there.
It's not one of his stronger efforts, but he does. Girl of My Best Friend, I really like that very much. And I believe there's a couple of other songs I like on there very much.
I think it's early 90s, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. I think it's early 90s.
But it just didn't quite hit me in the gut like I wish it would have.
2007 and 1999, Bryan Ferry, As Time Goes By. Now, this is a nice little compilation. He does all like the oldies.
I have that exact CD right here, my friend. And yes, it is it's a greatest hits. I mean, not a greatest hits. It's a covers. He does covers.
Yeah, it's covers. Yeah. If you like the oldies, this is excellent. This is really, really good.
It's fantastic. He toured this. He came to Detroit with an orchestra, did this album at our opera house.
Really?
Yes, sir.
There you go.
And the band that he put together, they played it exactly like it would sound if it was done in the 20s.
And the other one got a CD, 2007.
Yes, sir.
There's this little number.
Yeah, that's another one where he does Dylan songs. Yeah, I guess I wasn't that crazy about it.
No, it's okay. It's all right.
But I'm not. To be honest with you, I've got a few Dylan albums, but I'm not a really huge. I've never really been a big Dylan fan, to be honest.
I kind of like that one a bit better. It's just a bit different. He did a superb job on it.
Without question.
As this is just a more of an up-to-date album for the time,
Yeah.
It's not bad. Not bad at all.
There was one that came out before that, which I don't know what happened to it. It's disappeared, but called Frantic, and that's one of his albums. I still got to get another copy of. And that album was the first time he produced something with Brian Eno, and that was, I think, 2013 or something like that. So there's another one out there called Frantic. That's a solo album that if you get a chance, it's out there.
Cool. Anything you want to show, Michael, or anyone?
Yes. Well, go ahead. I mean, you said anyone. Spring Hill.
Well, the music.
No, I don't have anything by Roxy Music, I'm afraid.
All right.
Okay. I'm sorry. This is ringing, and let me turn this down real quickly here. All right. Yeah. Do you have any more of the solo stuff?
No, that's it for Bryan Ferry. I've got Roxy Music up next. But
this is The Bride Stripped Bare. This is another solo album.
All right. No, I don't have that one.
And he does a remake of Take Me to the River.
Yeah. The Talking Heads hit.
Yep. It's a pretty smooth album. It once again, it wasn't one of his bigger ones, but I think it's underappreciated.
It's an 80s one, isn't it?
Was that again?
Is that an 80s record?
If I remember correctly, this was. Well, he actually is dressed like he's 80s. That's for doggone sure.
Yeah, it's got that 80s look, doesn't it?
Let's see. I don't see it on the outside, so it's probably. Let me check the actual.
Richard says it's 1978.
Yeah, I figured it was.
Yeah.
It's, like I said, it's one of his earlier ones.
Richard
yeah.
knows.
It's a gatefold as well. He did a video, and this particular scene is in the video. So
Yeah.
Yeah. But and the back, of course, classic, kind of Roxy music style. But that's a killer photograph right there.
Yeah. Great covers, aren't they?
Oh, fantastic. Then I have this. This is a 12-inch, but it was done at 33 1/3. Take a Chance on Me, More Than This, and Avalon, from Avalon.
Yeah.
Then somebody had just put up something. I missed the thing about Brian Eno and Mamuna.
Yeah, I was Richard. Yeah.
I'm aware of that. Yup. And there you go.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's one I don't have either. Yeah.
This is really good.
Is that a 90s? That's a 90s one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. You want this one because this, it's almost like a part of what I call his trilogy. Would be, and I'm not sure if it came out in whatever order, but to me, Boys and Girls, Mamuna, and Bet Noir all have that same kind of dark romanticism about it.
I've seen that a few times on the VC. It probably was you that showed it.
I don't know, but
it might have been Richard, actually. It might have been Richard that showed that.
You want this.
Yeah, I'll pick that up.
And then finally, I have this put away, but it just happens to be, I think, the greatest album ever made, bar none. And that's Roxy Music.
Oh, yeah, it's fantastic.
This album is a masterpiece from the first note to the last. There is not a bad note on this album. This is indeed my favorite album of all time.
Early 80s, isn't it?
81, 82, I believe. 82. I had the esteemed pleasure of seeing Roxy Music. Yeah, the album before this, I saw the Manifesto tour. So they hadn't even done this yet. So they were at the absolute pinnacle of their game. It was phenomenal. And then I just recently had the pleasure of seeing Bryan Ferry's solo tour 2019, and he played all of Avalon along with some of his classics.
I've got two presses of that album.
Okie dokie.
You're gonna like this. I got a Virgin one.
Okay.
But still got its R price label on there for $6.99. I love all this. When you got a read this.
That is so insane how great that. I mean, that album should be $9 million. I mean, it's unbelievable how
it's perfection. It's perfection.
So great, man.
Those female vocals on is it More Than This? No, Avalon, sorry.
Do you realize the woman that sings that solo on Avalon, they pulled her into the studio while they were making the song, told her to sing. She did that in one take.
Wow.
One take.
So we got the Virgin pressing, and we've got this one, and this could be after that came out. I don't know, or before.
No, Avalon was the last. Are you saying something that the company?
Yeah, this is on Polydor. This is on Polydor. This one.
Oh, you talking about the pressing? Okay.
The pressing, yeah, and this particular one is on Super Deluxe. It's got. I don't know. You can't probably see that, but Super Deluxe.
Yeah.
So this.
Go ahead.
This is some kind of audiophile pressing, but I don't know for certain. You know, it could just be, nothing.
Well,
but
what's the date on it?
The date on it, 1982. But
that's not a repress. That came out.
I don't honestly know. I was hoping someone might know a bit more about it than me, but we got.
Well, I do know this.
Written on there.
I do know this, and I still have to purchase it. They did come out with some kind of special edition not that long ago.
Right.
I don't know if that's the one, because it should have the date that it actually came out, not the date that was originally. That's going to be on the printing, but somewhere on that record over there near where the label is at the end, it's got to have a date saying.
I think it is 82.
Okay, so it's not a reissue from later. It was issued in 82.
I believe so, or in the 80s, at least in the 80s,
Then that's not the one I'm talking about. The one I'm talking about was a re-release, but it was a special edition on 180 gram.
No, it's not that. It's not 180 gram. It's not that modern. It's an oldie. But whereas this other one on Virgin, there's no super vinyl or anything written on there. It's just
okay. So you saying one's on Virgin's one, and the other one's on what?
Polydor.
I would the one on I believe.
Virgin.
Yep.
And
the one on Polydor.
Super Deluxe. Polydor.
The one on Polydor should be the first. They were on. I thought they were on Polydor really super early.
I think this is a very early one, a very early pressing of the album.
Yeah, even before the other.
Yeah.
That's got to be. They were on Polydor. Polydor, yeah.
So on the Polydor one, you got the Super Deluxe pressing. That's all I'm saying.
Dude,
and they were charity shop finds. So
both of those you keep. You don't get rid of either one of those because you got two different labels.
Exactly. I can't. I can't now.
No.
Now that I know. Another recent acquisition, as you saw in the video, Michael. This one. This was £8.
I have that put away. That is one of the first Roxy music albums that I heard when I was a kid. I had a neighbor I lived about the middle of the block. Neighbor lived almost at the end. He had a stereo in the basement. I'm 13. He's 17, I think. And he pulls out this album. He goes, "Man, these are cool." I'm like, What is this?" This is Roxy music, man. I'm like, okay. He puts it on, and I'm just looking at I'm just like, what in the world is going on here? I'm just totally captivated by it, man. I mean, it's music I had never heard before. Not that I hadn't heard rock, because some of my classmates were introducing me to heavy metal, but primarily more classic kind of rock. And then I have friends who are introducing me to like blues, like Johnny Winter. I'm a huge Johnny Winter fan, even though I'm not really a big blues fan, and that's one genre I don't have a whole lot of. But man, Johnny Winter is my dude, and I think he's one of the greatest ever. So I had knew about rock, but glam had no idea. And then this was like, whoa, what? And so that's one of the. But at the same time, there was a second one he showed me. Is that the only other one you have?
Yeah, that's the only of that album I have. I don't have any other pressings or anything.
No. Do you have any more Roxy?
Oh God, yeah.
Okay, go ahead, because I'll continue the story as you go along because it'll attach to another album. Go ahead.
Okay, right. So moving into country life, I've got to be a bit careful here because I don't want to get a bollocking from YouTube. So,
Dude, do you know how hard it is to find that album with that original cover?
No, I don't.
Dude. Okay, see, Simon, come on, man. Come on, man.
I brought this at a record shop, secondhand record shop.
How long ago?
Maybe a couple of years ago.
What kind of shape is it in?
Pretty darn good. It's pretty darn good.
Simon, the label got so much hell for that cover that they re-released the album with nothing but shrubbery in the front. No women on it at all.
Right.
You have, I don't know how rare it is, but it's rare. Like, in other words, that's, oh, get the heck out of here. The Old Island label?
Yeah. I'm assuming this is the UK press, right?
I don't know, man. I'm telling you right now, that cover was censored.
Look at this. Look at this record. Look, it's beautiful. Look at it. Quality of it. It's like it's barely been played.
Dude, the cover was censored. Okay, that automatically makes that worth some money.
But was it just censored in the States, or was it internationally?
Well, you know something, but then again, it had to be internationally because even people in the States talk about how hard it is to find, and if it was easy to find internationally, then people would buy it. Literally, wait, hold it back up, Simon. Hold it back up. Literally, turn it around. That's the front cover now. Yeah, if you go out and find that album, it says Roxy Music on the front now. There's this shrubbery, there's no women. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Censored in Canada.
Dude, that album's tight too, man. That's got some jams on it.
Yeah. I've got it on CD somewhere. I wonder if it's the same.
I'm gonna wait to see if you have my second favorite Roxy Music album of all time. And unfortunately, that's another one I got put away that I can't pull right out. But
we got another comp. A Roxy Music Greatest Hits.
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, I take that back. That album is really old. That's one of the.
It is an oldie. It is an oldie.
I take that back. I own that one, but that was back when I was young. Before I sold off my first collection. I used to have a collection before I sold it off. I had to rebuild it.
It's got to be 70s, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's their first. That's their if I'm correct, that's their first greatest hits or whatever. Yeah, I did have that one. I must confess.
This was a charity shop find for, I don't know, maybe £4.
Stop
a year or two. I think I got it last year.
All right. There you go. All right, here we go. That album and Siren were the two albums he showed me that day. When I opened that one up, I went, okay, now I'm getting a good look at what these guys look like, and my mind is blown.
Let's open that one.
My,
It's
I'm-
not just a celebration of the music; it's the album covers as well. So we might as well enjoy it.
Those two albums, Siren and Stranded, opened the door to almost everything for me. This was my entry to Brian Eno, and Brian Eno is almost single-handedly responsible for getting me into electronic music and making me a keyboard lover.
So yeah, there you go. And it's a nice thick record. Yeah, and it's again on the Island label.
Doggone you. Doggone you.
1973.
Doggone you, Simon. Yeah, man. Those two albums changed my life. They changed everything. As far as me, how I was listening to music, all of a sudden, man, I had a sophisticated ear.
You did for a young age.
Oh man.
Right.
I've had some great mentors in music, bro.
Moving on.
Learned early.
We've got another Terry shop find. This is it's not a great condition one. It's maybe, well, I wouldn't even say it's good condition. It's got mark stains all over it, but it's not bad. I mean, it's not horrendously bad. As you can see, it's got a bit of staining or whatever on here, and a bit of red, of course. But still,
I have that both on CD and I actually have that on cassette.
yeah, I've got it on CD as well. Yeah.
This album is very smooth. It's very cool.
This is like a quid, you know.
Keep it up for me. I love Over You. Now,
it's a great song. Great song.
When I saw him in 2019, a solo tour, he opened up with Same Old Scene. That was the first song he played.
Yeah,
I'm like, he's going to be playing Roxy and his own stuff all night, along with all of Avalon. His playlist that night is exactly what I would have put together. He played every song I ever would wanted to hear from him. Midnight Hour is a great one. I love that album. It actually didn't do great sales wise.
Yeah.
But I love it. I just think it's so romantic.
Yeah, it's a good album.
Yes. Very much.
My one is not in too good shape, I'm afraid. But still, you know.
Oh, one of my favorite covers that they had. I love it.
It is a great cover. Another great cover.
Yes.
You want to show anything, Michael, or do you keep going?
Keep going, man. All my stuff is everything else I ever have is put away. I can't dig for it now. We'll just
okay. All right.
Yep.
Another classic then. That's
the second best Roxy music album ever. This and in my top 50 greatest albums of Roxy Music has two albums that are in my top 50 greatest of all time: Avalon and this.
Yeah, it's a great album. I agree. Yeah.
And, now he does live versions of "In Every Dream on My Heartache" on that Viva Roxy Music album that I showed you.
Yeah.
That just blows it out the water.
Michael, charity shop fine, £2.
Dude, this is insane, man.
It is. I know. When I saw it, I was just sort of started collecting vinyl, and when I saw it, it's like, that's coming over me.
Even though I have record shops available to dig, it's the quality that you're finding for the price that is just. I just want to fly over there and just take them from you.
Well, this is a few years of collecting. You know, this is
But dude, you just don't come across stuff like that for a couple of bucks often. It's just ridiculous.
I know.
You're in the right place.
I'm right at the south of the UK, and it's known for quite a rich area. So
well, hey, listen, I ain't hating on you, millionaire. Okay, I didn't know you're a big shot. Okay.
By no means. by
No,
no
no, no,
means.
no, no, no. That's okay. You can be humble if you want. We understand. Yeah,
Anyway.
to look at you, I'd never know you were rich because you're so humble.
I'm not.
No.
Anyway,
Yeah.
the debut album, I don't have on vinyl, but I saw this on vinyl in a recent record shop, a regular record shop I go to. They're charging about £60 for this. It's a hell of a lot.
It's too much for that, especially on CD. But it's still, it's a great album.
If I can find it cheap, I'll buy it. But £60 is a little bit.
Yeah.
If I'm paying £60 for something, I'm gonna want it like maybe excellent to near mint condition. I'm paying money.
The thing is, at least here in the States, you can find that all day on CD.
Yeah. But this copy I saw wasn't too good, so I wasn't willing to shout out for it. But still,
no. It's a classic.
It's a classic.
They got better though as they went along. It wasn't their better one, but that was a good launching pad.
Going back to the first one you showed.
Oh, you do have it. Oh, that's you've listened to it.
Yeah, it's good. Very good.
Oh, his voice is top notch, man.
Anyone know what HD CD is? High def
CD. It's high def.
Gotta be, isn't it? Yeah.
But that's different. That's different than an analog, though. But still,
even the CD is like a record, man.
Nice.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah.
Oh, and I like the fact that they even give you the booklet with the pictures that come in the original vinyl.
Yeah.
In the gatefold.
Yeah.
Very good. Very nice. Yeah. Nice package. Nice package.
I agree. Charity shop finds, this one. I think these all are charity shop finds, compilations.
That came out, I don't know, like maybe 10 years ago? Not too long ago. No,
probably not. No.
It was I think it was just prior to their reunion tour, which was about 7 or 8. No. They had 2 reunions. They had one like in 2007 or something, 9. For Your Pleasure is my favorite. Dude, For Your Pleasure is phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Do you have this one, Michael? The Roxy Music, the early years?
No. I didn't need it. We're getting into the later era of greatest hits. I just don't need them.
Again, on the HD CD.
Yes.
This side. This side.
It is a nice package, though.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, £1.
Do they have the little booklet inside that one as well?
Let's have a look.
Or whatever.
It's got something in there.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Got that blue. Yeah, see, there you go. Now I can really. That's what I love about CDs, man. When they put booklets in them, that's the best.
Yeah, it's nice. It's not that thick, but there's enough in there,
Dude, if they just give me a two-page fold, I'm happy. Long as you give me some lyrics or some credit so I can follow people, I'm good, man.
Just behind the CD of other albums.
That's cool, man. It's a nice little package there.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And lastly, this little compilation. More than this, the best.
That's more of the more later ones as well. Yep.
Yeah.
Very good. You've got a superior. You got a world-class collection of Roxy and Bryan, man. Good.
Yeah, I've got a nice little collection. Yeah, I have.
Oh, dude, more than most. Tell you that.
Maybe. Yeah,
oh, I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Unless they're OGs, man, people don't know about how great these guys are. Are you kidding me? The masses don't. Now, aside from hits, but you ask the average person, Roxy music, who is that? And then you have to go, Love Is the Drug. Oh, I know that song.
Just have a quick look at the booklet.
Well, without knowing how deep the history goes, without knowing that Avalon is the greatest album ever.
Yeah, it's a fantastic album. Fantastic album.
And it's funny too, man. One of my closest friends, we're both
Yeah.
on the accord. He believes that it's the greatest album as well.
Quick look. It's a bit more, a few more pages to this booklet.
Yeah. Some of that stuff looks like it comes from like the Mamuna era and Bet Noir.
Lyrics on there, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His that's more like the 90s, right? I'm pretty sure. But his career around then, man, was really hot too. I was digging the stuff he was coming out with.
There you go. Got Bryan Ferry and Roxy music there. Look.
They should have put the stuff up in chronological order. That would have been really. Wait a minute, did
Yeah.
they?
Haven't got Manifesto.
Oh no, they didn't put it. They should have put it in chronological order. That'd been cool. Dude.
Have you got Manifesto?
Dude, I've got Manifesto. That is my third favorite Roxy Music album. I saw Roxy Music on that tour. That album came out just before Avalon. There's a video on YouTube of that tour where he's wearing a red leather suit with a red leather tie. I saw that tour and we came out in that same suit that year. And like I said, it was Roxy Music at the height. And this was they hadn't even released Avalon. It was an amazing show. Oh.
Wow. Cool.
Yep. Manifesto was the very first song they came out to it. I'm for a life around the corner.
So there's a few more I need then, isn't there?
Oh,
Just to finish it off.
come on.
Not far there.
Dude.
You know, considering some of those with Cherry Shop fans, you know, I've done pretty well, really.
Yeah, man. That Manifesto, I got that on both. I got that on cassette as well. It's just fantastic album, man. I just love it. Love it. So that's between the two of us, that's pretty comprehensive, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
It's like, I think anybody watching this, you know, we've given you a pretty good history. I mean, I even know more. I mean, it's just, there's not enough. It can go deep when you talk about these guys and their influence on just so many people, you know.
Yeah. Well, you know more than us, Michael. You know, you're the.
Well, only because I was right on the nipple of that when I was a baby.
Yeah.
You know, I had the right mentors. I had people who were listening to really killer stuff as teenagers. Even back then, 17 for my neighbor to be 17 and this cool. So I was very lucky. And then my brothers were, to be honest with you, I'm actually, well, I wouldn't say I'm a drummer, but drums are the first instrument I ever played.
Yeah.
My father actually bought me a set of drums when I was like 10 years old. And for whatever reason, it just didn't stick with me. And then later on in life, all of a sudden, I get into synthesizers and I fall in love. It's crazy, but yeah.
Cool.
I don't know if this, Michael, this came out last year.
That's awesome.
Beethoven Was Deaf. This was remastered, re-released, and it's sort of the Your Arsenal era.
Oh yeah,
When he got together the live band, they called it the Rockabilly Band. You know, Boz Bora,
right?
Just all those tracks, live in Paris.
That's nice.
Really good remaster. I think it was remastered at Abbey Road Studios.
Oh, very good.
That's really good. If you can find, you'll be able to find this. It's brand new.
Yeah.
Oh,
but it's great to get these reissues when they come around because the original pressings are, you know, so hard to find and so expensive.
Because I never see that, man.
Yeah, because obviously I never see the original of this. So when he re-released it, he's finally got it on vinyl. There are a few more he should re-release, like for You Are the Quarry and Southpaw Grammar.
Dude, he, yeah, if he does both of those, I will get them.
Yeah, so will I. Yeah, it's on the Sire label. It's really nicely put together.
It's funny, man, because a few days ago, sometimes like songs will get caught in my head, and I'll walk around for days, and I'll just sing them. Like I'll be just walking around or cleaning up the place, I'll sing it, or I'll be walking through a supermarket singing it. And the song that I could not get out of my head was Alma Matters. I love that song.
Oh yeah, from Maladjusted, yeah.
Man, I love that.
Great song, yeah. Great song. And I actually believe that album, well, I know because I've got that single. That album came out on Island Records.
Yeah.
And I've got the Alma Mater's single with the Island record, which is funny because that label doesn't have its roots are in reggae, right? It's like a reggae label.
Well, it goes back so far. I don't know. I don't know if it's exactly if it was a reggae label or if a California company did that.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I'll tell you this: it produced all different types of genres. I mean, Island Record produced rock, disco, funk. There were a whole lot of different types of bands coming out of Island. At one time was the coolest label ever.
Mm.
Yeah.
So this is worth getting.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And it's the early stages of his solo career, live career as a solo artist. Obviously, with a great band behind him.
Yeah.
Great tracks. He does some of the earlier solo material like Suede Head and Sister I'm a Poet. And
what year did that come out then, Jim?
last year.
Last year.
Yeah, 2024.
Cool.
That's I recommend it.
It was a good lay. Oh, that's so
such a great track.
Yeah, man.
You're right, Jason.
Nice.
Well then, is there anyone want to add anything else? Talk about anything else? Music wise or whatever? Hey.
How about Michael? Are you into Soft Cell?
Oh yeah. I mean, like not hardcore, but of course I've played Tainted Love a gazillion times as a DJ and stuff.
Yeah, because I see you've got your synth and all your equipment there behind you.
Yeah, well, actually, there's a lot put away, and then there's my baby is just over the shoulder of the reel to reel. I have what's called a Matrix Brute by a company called Arturia, and it is just an absolute beast of a keyboard. But yeah, very, very. It's always been passionate about music, man. It's my life. It's the only thing I've ever wanted to do.
Yeah. When did you first hear the Smiths? Was that would that have been in your teen years?
When I first heard the Smiths when I was, I think it was not Boys Don't Cry. Which song had come? I think it was Boys Don't Cry was the first video that I saw on MTV.
Oh, that was The Cure.
I mean, what am I thinking of?
Are you thinking This Charming Man?
What am I thinking? Boys Don't Cry for? This Charming Man. Thank you very much. Where he has the
flowers.
Flowers. Yes.
Gladiola.
Yes. When I saw that on MTV, I went, these guys are pretty interesting. Yeah. I went into the service. I was stationed in California. I was living with two women, and It was all strictly platonic because I had a woman and they had boyfriends, but they needed somebody to move in, help them pay for the place. I had an opportunity to get off the ship and not live on the ship, live with them. One morning they wake up and they go, hey, you want to go with us? We're going to one of the beaches, because there's 3 beaches in San Diego, Mission, Pacific, and Ocean. So we're going to the beaches. There's going to be a concert. I go, yeah, who are you going to see? They go, oh, we're going to see the Smiths. They played on the beach in San Diego. I didn't go.
You're right, Randy.
What year was that? Was that on the Queen is Dead tour? Was that in the 86-ish?
Oh, no, earlier than that.
Earlier than that? Wow.
It had to have been about 83, 80. No. Yeah, it had to have been somewhere between 83 and 85.
You know, the rumor is when they first came to the States, they played in New York at the Danceteria.
What year?
I think that was New Year 84. And Johnny Marr has always said that Madonna was the support act before they came on. She was the cloakroom girl. She was just signed by Seymour Stein Sire Records in New York. And that's the myth. That's sort of like the legend that Madonna was the opening act.
Oh,
but it's never really been confirmed, you know.
Oh, that seems about right. She was still very young then.
Yeah.
That's about right. I could see that. Yeah, she broke pretty quickly once she got to New York, but she had to open. Yeah, she didn't. Although she didn't pay a whole lot of dues, I mean, she did get some doors open for her. And she really is more from a suburb of Detroit. She isn't from like Detroit.
Yeah.
But all the same, I mean, back then I loved her, man. I still think that she's an incredible business person. These latter years, I don't know. What you got, Simon?
I'm trying to attempt a whack-a-mole by the Zeb's asking me.
Oh, okay.
Can I do it? So,
but yeah, so Spring Hill. So yeah, that was kind of like, and then once I got back home from the service, I just back then. I mean, well, I take that back. Even when I was in San Diego and when I got back home, punk, new wave, new romantic, all of this stuff was like hot at the same time. I mean, there was ska. So I was in the clubs dancing to the Smiths religiously.
Yeah. Hung the DJ.
Oh man. So I mean, just as a young guy hanging out.
So that would have been the wave of like the Smiths, obviously, Depeche Mode.
Oh yeah.
New Order,
exactly.
Cure, all the British bands who like were big in the States.
Let me tell you, man.
And mostly California, because they were always played on K-Rock, weren't they?
That's what I loved. My timing, I would have never expected the music to go the way it did. But my timing going into the service was perfect because I was able to see the effect of all of this in 2 different states. And then when I would go overseas, I'd be in Hong Kong and there'd be this big, huge mural with Madonna on it. I'm like, what? So it was an awesome time, bro. I mean, there'll never be another time like it. I am so fortunate to have been born when I was born.
So by the request of Zeb, then he wants me to do a CD whack-a-mole. I picked out 5 here. So we'll start off with Papa Roach Infest.
Oh, so now were you picking blindly?
Blindly, yeah. This is from my collection behind me, which is all mostly rock and punk and that sort of stuff.
90s,
heavy metal. This is what the new new wave, not new wave. What's it called? New metal.
It's the 90s.
Late, no, 2000. This is 2000.
Well, I thought it. Well, I'm close, and the reason why I said 90s is because the packaging. It looks like something that was done in the 90s. You can tell by that.
Right. Yeah, very early 2000s. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, or 2000, yeah. But you know, they had that kind of style. You know what I mean?
US top 5 album, Last Resort, and Broken Home.
Yeah.
So over your territory, Michael.
Yeah, but I wasn't much into them.
No.
No.
Next up, we got Saga, Full Circle.
They are considered pretty legendary.
1999.
Aren't they heavy metal?
I think they are. Yeah, yeah.
I've heard of a lot of people talk about. I mean, I'm not familiar. I mean, I'm familiar with them by the reputation I guess they have. I just hear a lot of people mention Saga for some reason. I don't know.
This is a great album. I can't stop listening to this album, and it's Neil Young, Harvest Moon.
Yeah. Like I said, I got a couple of things by him. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I take that back. I was talking about Bob Dylan earlier. Neil Young, whole different situation. I appreciate his music more than Dylan's. I think.
Yeah.
I think I think he's personally. I think he's a better songwriter than Dylan. Personally,
this is a great album. I mean, Unknown Legend from Hank to Hendrix is an absolute gem. Harvest Moon, of course, was the hit of the album in I think it was '94. I think.
Dude,
he song Harvest Moon.
Yeah, man, the stuff he did with Crosby, Stills, and Nash was fire too, man.
It was. Yeah.
He's something else. Like I said, I prefer him over Dylan when it comes to like real kind of Americana, real kind of
You're
stuff.
probably not going to be too familiar with this one. Best of David Essex. Do you know David?
Of course. Rock on, right? Hey, it wasn't a Hey Kids Rock and Roll, no?
Gonna Make You a Star was, I think, his big hit.
Okay. I thought he did Rock On, no?
He did do Rock On, yeah. He did do Rock On.
Yeah, David Essex, of course. I not really glam, but kind of in that era, almost kind of glam in a way. I don't know.
I don't know. I wouldn't say glam, but
he was around. I mean, even his dress, the way he's dressed, almost looks like.
Hi.
Hey, what's going on, Richard?
How you doing?
Great.
Not bad. And finally, for Zeb, a Bob Dylan number.
Which one?
Bring it all back home.
Okay.
Good okay.
All right. Yeah, there you go. There's 5 of my whack-a-moles there. And because we mentioned it earlier, Michael, I quickly dug out Brother to Brother.
Dude, I'm telling you. Oh, that guy. Oh, let me grab some more Gino. Hold on. Let me see if I can. I have some put away, but I do have some out. Give me a quick second.
Is on the Nautilus Super Discs. These are considered audiophile vinyl.
He is phenomenal.
So quick. I'll wait till you get back, Michael, because I was going to show you the record.
What is it? What are you gonna? I mean, what are you gonna show?
Just the record. Just getting the vinyl out. Taking up quick ganders.
You know, I should have been more prepared. Let me see.
Does that Dylan album have what's it called? Subterranean Homesick Blues on it?
It does, yes. The first
That's
track.
one of his best songs, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite
great music video.
I think it's one of the better, one of his best albums. I think that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. Here we go. Oh yeah. Here we go. Okay. What you gonna show, buddy?
I'll just quickly show you the record. There you go.
What? Hold it up again. What's that label? Is that Nautilus?
AM.
Okay. Subsidiary. Okay, A&M. That's the distributor. He was on A&M. Yeah.
Yeah.
DBX. Okay.
Yeah, DVX encoded. Yeah. These sound amazing. They absolutely sound absolutely great. You get the full 100 decibel range with these records.
Man, the thing that's you're gonna like about it is that just in general, like even his first releases, he is so great at engineering. The music is clear, clean. His production qualities are second to none. I don't have everything at my disposal. Oh, sorry about that. Doggone it.
All right. What's going wrong?
I tripped over the cord. Hold on a second here. Well, I didn't trip over the cord, but I tripped the cord. Are you still there?
Still here? Yeah.
Great. Hold on a second here.
After Michael shows his records, I have a couple of things to show Jim.
We've got some Morrissey goodies there.
We've got some trivia, put it that way.
I saw your video about the single, Morrissey and Smith singles. It's good collection.
It is. It's hot. Well, I bought all the Smith singles whenever it came out.
Yeah.
I bought most of the Morrissey's and then I stopped, so I had to get a lot of the later ones, which cost me. But
well, I was impressed when I saw the that bootleg 7-inch, which has the Hacienda
yes,
songs on it.
That was picked up in they call it flea market over in America. I suppose a second-hand record shop here, and for about 10p, 20p or something like that there. But that was back in the 80s as well, now. So
because a lot of those bootlegs now are so hard to come across.
I know they are. I don't have any bootleg albums of the Smiths apart from the CD of the Troy Tate sessions. I have it.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
I think it's as good as the actual original album. That's my own view. Some people think it's better. I don't think it is.
No, I actually think that the first album, John Porter gets slack when there's nothing there to complain about. It's such a smooth. I know it was rushed because obviously the Troy Tate one was done and it was scrapped, and he had to quickly do the John Porter's version. But to me, it doesn't sound muddy. It sounds clean and smooth.
And the fact that Paul Carrick plays on it, I think that a lot of people slag that off as well. I think Paul Carrick's actually a really good pianist.
The piano on Reel Around the Fountain is what makes it.
I have a couple of things here after Michael shows his stuff, so you'd be
sorry about that, guys. Go ahead, Richard. If you want to go ahead and show, go ahead.
Do you mind? Because I'm only staying on for a short time.
Right.
I have never seen Morrissey live. Well, I have seen Morrissey live, but not solo. I've seen the Smiths live twice, and I kept the tickets.
Oh, great!
I've got the tickets here. Now, the first one is from 1984. It's in my hometown, and it was Wednesday, the 21st of November, 1984. And how much do you think it was?
$5.
Well, that's probably about right because it was £4 to get in. I'm going to come back to that in a little minute. The second time I saw them, they were supposed to have played in 1986 on the 20-something of January, but they didn't cancel. They postponed it until February. And this one was £6, and this was in the Whitla Hall at Queen's University, Belfast. So I've kept those two tickets. Now, being a bit of a nerd and a bit of a Smiths fan, whenever I came home, I tried to write down all the songs that I knew that they sung. And it must have been a couple of months ago, I found this old book here. It's an old notebook, right? there was the songs. I have written down what the song. This is not necessarily in the right order, but they did do William, It Was Really Nothing. What difference does it make? This charming man with the guitar opening, not the version that you would hear in Hatful of Hollow, the single type version. How Soon Is Now, Handsome Devil, Hand in Glove, Still Ill, Heaven Knows I'm Miserable Now, You've Got Everything Now, Reel Around the Fountain, Jean, and what he said at the time was his new single, which I just wrote down, new single, which I'm assuming was Shakespeare's Sister, and then it's a plus one, which I didn't know those two songs, so there's the three I didn't know, and that's what I wrote down. The Smiths.
Oh, what a playlist!
So that wasn't even the Meat Is Murder tour then. That was even before that.
That was around the time Hatful of Hollow was released.
Yeah, most of the first album there.
Yeah.
That would have to, Richard. That would have to be the tour that they did the beach in California, because I was living there between 83 and 85, and that's when the women that I was living with, they said, we're going to the beach to see the Smiths. So it had to have been 84. That must have been the same tour.
I was near the end of 84, and the second one was just before The Queen Is Dead was released. So it was Meat Is Murder had been released. Now, with the first one, Morrissey walked off stage because in those days, whenever, you know, the Smiths were not a punk band, but all the punks, the audience used to spit at the punk singers. And they all had it Morrissey, and he says, I'm not having any of this. And he just walked off stage. I think it was Johnny Marr, if my memory, God, it's over 40 years ago, said something like, or the compere came on and said, look, if you don't stop this, these guys are going home now. And they stopped. So,
and I can't blame them. You know, I mean, if it's a true punk band, yeah, I mean, if it's the Dead Boys, go ahead. But, you know, something like this, so you don't spit at the artist. Come on.
No, you don't, no.
Ridiculous.
No. I still kept those two tickets.
I don't know if it was 84 or 85. I think it was around that ballpark when they were doing live What's the World by James. They covered that live. Yeah,
that's on that bootleg single I have.
Yeah, that's on that. Yeah.
It's very bad quality though. It's not great quality at all. It's just nice sleeve.
You know what show I missed here a month and a half ago, and it kills me. Double bill, and I live like right across the street from a main concert venue. Right across the street was Johnny Marr and James.
Oh wow! Yeah,
I found out too late.
It's funny. I never got into Johnny Marr's solo work at all. I've nothing of it. Nothing.
I can understand why you might have trepidations, because on one hand I'm like, but on the other side it's like, yeah, but he has done some really cool stuff. The other thing I like is that Johnny Marr can sing, and
he can actually. He can do some of the Smith songs very well.
I've heard it, yes, and I'm like, you know something, good for you, because you know he's in that situation where, well, he's the man with the guitar, but somebody else has this amazing vocal style, but he's able to play the Smith song and sing it very well. I have buku respect for him. The reason why I'm really frustrated on missing the show is, one, that's Johnny Marr. I mean, come on. But two, I really dig James too, man. I'm a big James fan as well. I like their stuff too.
Well, I liked Johnny Marr when he was in Electronic with Bernard Sumner from New Order.
Yes,
great. The first record is great with Neil Tennant from the Pet Shop Boys. It's a great record, and he does some of those songs live. He does Getting Away with It, Get the Message, Forbidden City. Great tracks.
Yeah, and they did. You know, actually, the work that he did with Bernard Sumner did very well in clubs.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Very well in the clubs. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like, you know, international radio stuff. In the clubs, did good. Yeah.
And don't forget,
getting away with it, I can imagine. Yeah.
Don't forget he worked with Kirsty McCall as well. He co-wrote Walking Down Madison for her, and he was on her Electric Landlady album.
Well,
And he was in the Pretenders as well.
Oh,
Sorry?
He was in the Pretenders as well.
Yes, he worked with, yes, he did indeed. He worked on the Pact album. It's a pretty good album as well.
In fact, I was, funnily enough, I can't remember which one it is. The album with I'll Stand By You on it.
That's Last of the Independents.
Yeah, that has Andy Rourke on bass.
Has it?
Yeah.
That's one thing. You say even if the Smiths got back together for, say, a gig, it wouldn't be the same without Andy Rourke.
Yeah. I actually was thinking he deserves a writing credit on some of those tracks. Especially because the bass drives the songs on some of them.
Like Barbarism Begins at Home should have credit. Without a doubt.
I love Chrissy Hine, man.
That's sort of
what a bad chick. What a bad chick.
And James Honeyman Scott as well.
Yes. This album it's a classic, man.
But Michael, you would never take Chrissy Hine to McDonald's for a date, would you?
Yeah.
No,
do you not remember her protesting outside McDonald's in the early 90s and giving off about...
Here's another show I missed. Like this show happened in 23, and she played at a club that has a smaller underground club, and she played the downstairs, which is super intimate and close, and I missed it.
Well, she's had some interesting husbands over the years. She's had the guy from the Kinks and the guy from Simple Minds.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jim Kerr. I think Jim Kerr dumped her for Patsy Kensit. I think.
And then she dumped him for Liam Gallagher. That's weird.
Hey, well, don't mess with Chris. Don't mess with Chrissy.
But wasn't she a waitress in New York or something before she came over to the UK? You see, the thing is, a lot of people look at the Pretenders as a UK band because the three other guys were from the UK. And I look at them as American because if you think about it, Chrissy Hine did everything. She wrote everything.
Yep.
She sang everything. She played on it.
That's why I love her.
So to me, you're not an American band.
Well, when she first came to London, she was in a punk group called the Moors Murderers.
Oh yeah, I saw an interview. She talked about that.
Yeah, with Howard Stern.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she did they did like one single. It was called Free Myra Hindley, and it was like the most
disgusting
controversial thing at the time.
I remember with the Suffer Little Children, on the first album, I remember at the time Morrissey was getting a real hard time about that. But I was thinking, why? Because if you read the lyrics, he's not sympathetic towards the murderer. He's sympathetic towards the children.
No, because obviously a child of Manchester who was growing up during that time, I think he was keenly aware that he could easily have been one of the victims.
Yeah.
So it obviously had an effect on him growing up. And if you actually listen to the song, it's a tribute to the victims. It's not glorifying the crimes.
Yeah,
whereas obviously what Chrissy Hine was up to, that was clearly bad, really bad taste. On the other side of the coin.
Yep. A lot of artists sometimes.
But she turned it around, didn't she, with the Pretenders?
Yeah. But a lot of the artists, sometimes they do stuff and they regret, like, there's certain concerts that, people say don't do them and they do them anyway. They go, maybe we shouldn't have because of this or that, politics or whatever. But, it happens.
Chrissy Hine, although she split up with Ray Davis, must have been in the mid-80s or early to mid-80s. She did record with him again on one of his solo albums from the 2010s. I can't remember the name of the song. It was a pretty good song. It's just a duet with Chrissy and Ray. So they obviously remained friends. So they did, because you wouldn't want your ex singing 20 years later on one of the songs. But, well, listen, folks, I just came up the show. Jim goes there, so I shall head.
Yeah, it's good to see you, Richard.
Yeah,
Right,
good seeing you again, man.
Enjoy the rest of
See
the
ya.
radio. Bye-bye.
See you later, Richard.
Cool.
Right, well, I suppose that's about it then, fellas.
Hey, had a great time, man.
Been fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we'll do it again sometime.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah. Right.
Been good fun.
That's been great. So I'm gonna until next time then, everyone. Bye for now.